right. I think we're live here. Wait for you guys to start jumping on. Put in the chat, first of you guys that are here, if you just let us know if you guys can hear us all right and if everything's looking all right. Also, let us know where you're coming in from in the chat. Hopefully you guys are getting out there. It's been finally, it almost acted like it was summer here.
Kind of summer.
It's been raining like every day, which is not common for the desert we live in.
It's been more like May weather. We've been having May weather for most of June, I would say.
Yeah, or even like July afternoon monsoons. It's just
with
been
some, thunderstorms.
It's been crazy for sure. But Brigham and myself will be getting out this weekend. I'll actually be teaming up with Justin Outdoors, so I'll get to go do a little bit of hiking with him. So looking forward to that. But we may still be backpacking in the snow unless we change our route. We will for sure be in snow.
Yeah,
in the middle
there's
of
a decent chance we'll be on some snow, or we'll just have to do a last minute route change.
Yeah, but for those of you guys joining right now, we're going to be talking about the Skyline shorts. We're definitely looking forward to taking you guys through some of the design background of these, what makes them different, answering questions. So as we go through this live, make sure you guys are popping in any questions that you have into the chat there. We'll do our best to answer those. We've got some help behind the camera, as well as we'll be monitoring comments and whatnot to the best of our abilities while we're talking. But okay, we got a few people jumping in here. Terry, woohoo, I don't wear shorts, but I always learn a lot from these Q&As. So we're gonna have to bring some other wisdom in for Terry here. Some people from Indiana, Albuquerque, Cincinnati.
What part of Cincinnati?
You're familiar with that area, aren't you? Waiting on that. Greetings from Germany. Nice. Got some. Look forward to the day we get to go back to Germany, Brigham. I quite enjoyed that trip. I don't know if you enjoyed getting drug around by Tyler to different
I got
areas.
sick on that trip.
That's
and
true.
I almost got treated like a terrorist, but
No, you did get treated like a terrorist.
I did. Well, for a few minutes.
George heading to Colorado in 2 weeks for a week of hiking. Ordered a pair yesterday. Any idea when they'll ship? They should ship right away. I mean, I'm sure most of these have been headed out the door today. If not today, then tomorrow. So I think they'll make it to you if you're headed next week. New Vienna, 45 from Cincy. So it sounds like he's outside of Cincinnati. Okay, well, let's jump in. Again, today we're going to be talking about these right here. These are the new Skyline trail shorts. We've got both a lined and an unlined version here. We'll talk through some of the benefits of those. You guys can ask questions on those. But as per the usual, I'd like to start with just where the idea and where the concept came, Brigham, for us to even start designing a short, and then what was our goal? Like, why did we feel the need to design a short, and what were we hoping to accomplish?
Yeah, this is a cool example of this is a product that we really didn't intend to develop, but we started developing another product, and the use case of that product just had us wearing a lot of other shorts that we kind of just saw some opportunities to develop our own short that would be really well suited for the fast packing that we were doing, and like extended, miles on trails in the mountains, and so, we just found that there's different, slightly different requirements for what we were doing and what we anticipated doing that weren't fully met with kind of the different options that we were using. So luckily for us, we can develop products and gear. So we looked into what we wanted to improve or things we wanted to tackle with a pair of shorts that were capable of extended backcountry trips, going light and fast. And
so I gotta ask. I just filmed a YouTube video that isn't live yet. comparing pants to shorts and whatnot. Trying to remember when you started to wear shorts on trail.
I didn't wear any shorts on any trail ever until we started doing the fast packing and kind of that product development and then working on these shorts.
So from your perspective, now I see you wear shorts on trail quite a bit. When do you choose to wear shorts versus when do you choose to wear pants?
There's a couple use case scenarios that kind of are that deciding factor. One is the easy one to say is like if it's like a fast packing trip where there's any chance of doing any running, or we're just really trying to go light and fast. So short amount of time, lots of miles, or longer amount of time with even more miles, then I'll opt for the shorts because of the mobility, the sweat output and the heat output and the comfort over just that many miles. When it comes, if I'm choosing to wear pants, it's because one, it's either the temperatures are cold enough that require pants for that leg coverage, or really really dense bug season, like high density mosquito conditions.
What was like the biggest hurdle for you to switch? Like, I won't say my opinions. I'll let you guys wait for a future video here. But like, I feel like you probably had some resistance to switching to shorts to begin with, I'd imagine. Like, I want to say you were one of the people that kind of gave me the feedback of like, I just don't like things touching my legs.
I don't. Yeah, that's why it's like the deciding factors. Those are the deciding factors that trump like the other factors. Like I don't like things brushing up against my legs. I don't like bugs. But if I need it like for functionality in terms of like, a 3-day jaunt into the mountains that I know that's going to benefit me energy wise or long-term comfort, then that's the deciding factor to go with shorts. Cause I still go like if I take my kids backpacking or I'm doing other backpacking trips where low mileage, lower intensity, or I know it's going to be really bad bugs, then I still wear pants. But
yeah. All right, so we get you into a pair of shorts. We start wearing shorts for fast packing and just higher mileage trips that were going on. We realize there's a need, and a lot of the need that we were discovering was just that there was basketball shorts out there, and then there was running shorts out there, and neither of them were really designed start to finish with the avatar of hiking all day long in a pair of shorts. On the running side, a lot of them were really short, offered no coverage, no sun protection. Maybe you weren't able to, or just not feel very comfortable in them if you had to run into a town or something like that. If you were through hiking or whatnot, or if you were just in a trafficked area or whatever. And then on the basketball short side, a lot of those are just way too heavy, way too long, and not really performance fabrics. A lot of them would hold on to moisture a little bit more and just baggy, things like that, right? So after doing that and kind of searching around, I ordered a lot of shorts myself, trying to search and find what was going to work. And after doing that, really we decided, hey, we've got all of the abilities to bring in some of the most premium fabrics on the planet, design a short start to finish with hiking and long days and big miles is the forefront of our mind and is our primary avatar and user of these shorts. And so we gave it a shot. And some of the things that we're trying to overcome and improve with these obviously were just overall fit, reduction of chafing, improvement of how fast things are drying out if they do get wet, ventilation as a whole. And so these are all of some the core things in our mind that we're trying to improve in the Skyline shorts, and I feel like we really nailed that with these. So maybe just take these, Brigham, for a second and walk through some of the design call outs that will make these stand out in correlation to any other pair of shorts that someone might already be hiking with.
Yeah, we put some like specific attention to what's called the front rise and the back rise. That's just the distance, kind of between my hands here. That seam that goes up from, the crotch area straight up to the waistband. That really comes into play when it comes to chafing. If you've got too much distance here, then it just becomes excess fabric. So when you're taking step after step, especially when the fabric gets wet, that friction causes a lot of discomfort and then hot spots and then chafage and then just a really negative experience. So that's one. And then moisture and heat is another factor with chafing. And so we found this really great mesh that's like kind of a jersey knit mesh. So it's not like see-through, but it's very, very breathable. So we did a full length inner leg / crotch gusset to provide kind of a soft surface in there, but also really, really good breathability. And so it makes it a very comfortable crotch gusset. We put a little bit of that same fabric along the sides to increase ventilation. And then in the pocket bags, inside the pocket here, we also made them with the same very, very breathable knit mesh, because pockets are an evacuation route for excess heat. So let's see. If you kind of look at the front of the leg here, kind of see where the front of the leg comes down and it ends at a higher point than the back. The reason for that is we wanted a little bit of extra coverage in the back of the knee area, where that, even for people that wear shorts a lot, that knee pit area gets just very little exposure to sun, so it's more prone to burning. And like in all of our development, like those are things that we just took note of, like after spending a couple days out in the sun, for 10 hours on the trail, like our knee pits were getting burned. And so felt like that was a useful design aspect for the shorts.
We could only extend those low enough to cover your calves, Brigham, with how toasted they were on some of last year's adventures.
We got a user error also. If we can do something about that would help. Yeah, and then the inseam, we dialed in the inseam to be a good length that for all the different sizes is going to be above the knee, because that's a big energy drain, is if your shorts kind of hang below your kneecap. It's surprising how much energy that takes throughout a long day, and then repeatedly, where the shorts are essentially getting held up or caught on your kneecap, and that's resistance. And so one of the kind of important things that we put into our clothing design is like efficiency of movement as a result of efficiency of fit. So how something fits results in the efficiency of how our body moves, and that results in the efficiency of how we deal with our energy and our calories. So
yeah, I mean, I'd even liken that, just kind of to back up on a side story with the benefit of these shorts and keeping it above the knee and mobility. When it comes to shoes and shorts and hiking with things in your pocket, I think back a lot to a time when I was back in college. I was using my bicycle for transport a lot. I was biking a lot of miles each and every day. And I bought like a specialized hardtail mountain bike, and that's what I was biking with. And it came with like some bigger mud tires on it. And I biked for months with those mud tires on it. And someone finally convinced me, like, well, you should just put some thinner street tires on those rims that I had. I put those thinner street tires on, and it literally felt like with every single pedal stroke, I was going 2 to 3 times the distance. It was just so phenomenal to me how much farther I could go, how much better I felt, etc. And that's how I see the shoes you wear. That's why you see us really run lightweight trail runners a lot. The shorts, when you're doing big miles on trail, it just adds up to a substantial level. And why you don't see us walking around with like our cell phones and stuff in our pocket. We put those in the hip belts of our packs, or in different areas on the packs, so that our legs and our feet can stay super mobile and free. And especially as the day goes on and on and on, it becomes more and more and more drastic just how massive an effect that can have on your ability to cover miles. So those little things like trimming the front of those shorts can make differences, especially on mile 19 of a 20-mile day.
Yeah, a good indicator of like something about your clothing not working well is at the end of like say 10 hours of hiking, those last 2 hours, your attention is really drawn to something that's irritating you on a piece of clothing. Maybe if that's a pair of pants, maybe it's like the belt line or something. You know, I mean, if you're wearing a hip belt and there's a hot spot somewhere, or you've got a crick in your neck, or like, you know, a tense shoulder. One shoulder is tense. A good indicator that things are helping you be efficient is that at the end of a day, you don't have some distraction of focus. Like you're not thinking about some area on the shorts and how it's affecting your body. It's kind of like this idea of it's just distraction free. That is kind of something we strive to achieve with, like, you know, all the gear and especially clothing, because it's right on our bodies. So, you know, if somebody's going to go hike 4 miles and the shorts are a little long and they're hanging over their kneecap, that person, if that's all they ever do, they're going to think, well, I've never experienced that. But somebody else that's done 25 miles 3 days in a row, they're going to know exactly what we're talking about, because they've noticed at the end of the day, like, they're getting tired of their shorts getting caught every time they step up over a rock or something, or them getting hung up on their knees. So we just really wanted to have kind of unencumbered movement throughout the short, to be very unrestrictive, but not overly baggy and just a bunch of excess fabric that's going to weigh more, catch the wind more, and create drag.
Yeah. Something here that I'll notice on this pair is that this pair here has the liner in it. So I'll just kind of pull that out and show you what that does look like. This is going to be made with that same breathable mesh that Brigham was talking about, that's in the gusset and on the side panels. It's a really phenomenal mesh because it retains its shape incredibly well even when it's wet and moist. So if you were to sweat, get caught in the rain, whatever, it retains its shape really, really well, to the point that, I mean, I literally use these as my swimming trunks. Me and my family went down to California just a few weeks back, and I took 2 pairs of these as my only 2 swimming shorts to go to the beach every day and swim at the hotel pools, right? So they really do just retain shape, whether they're moist, not wet, whatever, and this liner is a really good option. And I do want to jump into like pros and cons of picking a lined short versus an unlined short, because we do make both options and both have a place. But before we get to that, just kind of want to also highlight this back yoke area. So it's going to be really hard to see on this, but there is it might be impossible. So you've got the line right here going across the top, and you'll see there's another line stretching right there. So this is called the back yoke. And, you know, Brigham put this into the short just to help with its fit. And what I like to call out about it specifically is that this is the kind of attention to detail that we're putting into this product. That the extra labor, material, cut costs, sew cost, everything like that, to add just that yoke for that little bit of extra better fit around your backside, it is just so worth it to us. But it's something you might not see in your typical trail running short, or your typical like basketball short or gym short, right? But those are the kinds of things that just pay dividends on the trail, and why this really is such a premium short that's gonna feel great at the end of a long day on the trail, or a long day of training, right? Because we just do a lot of training in these, whether that's at the gym or, I mean, just in the last week, I've gone on, you know, multiple 4-hour-long runs in these shorts, and they've been phenomenal, right? So there's a lot of usability for these. This is a piece, I mean, I'm wearing a pair of these, I'd say every day for training or play, you know what I mean? Yeah. So with that in mind, they really are just a premium short, and we really didn't, you know, we did the opposite of cut any corners on this piece, whether that be with the stitching, you know, the double stitching, the yoke, the meshes, you know, I mean, we're actually sourcing fabrics from different suppliers to bring them all together for this piece, just because we've found the best performance in these 2 particular fabrics in here, And it all just boils down to a phenomenal short that's going to perform incredibly well for you. It's going to dry incredibly fast, and just has a ton of usability. I mean, besides just trails, I take this anywhere I travel, so that I can either exercise where I travel, or I've got a pair of lounge shorts and whatnot. But let's maybe pivot for just a second and talk about why we would do lined and unlined, when we might choose one or the other. So I'll let you go first, and I'll follow.
So I'm going to take one that I don't often talk about within the office. Oftentimes I'm talking about the line shorts because I use them the most. But let me talk about why somebody might choose the unlined shorts. One would be the first obvious one is just going to be preference. Like, some people just can't stand the idea of like a brief liner. It feels like wearing briefs. Got it. But for, let's just say, like day-to-day around town use, like perhaps you have a job where you have not really any kind of like clothing standards or whatever, in terms of like you have to dress up to a certain level. Like, they're just a very comfortable pair of shorts. So you can wear, like, these black ones are a really good example. They're just a pair of black shorts, and they don't look out of place in many places, if that makes sense. Like, if you go to lunch, if you go to the store, you're not going to look like you just got done running by just wearing a pair of black shorts. They're for sure like an athletic short. They're not like a pair of khaki slacks shorts. But day to day, people that might just want to wear a more athletic and comfortable pair of shorts, that's a really good use. So like I said, some people just prefer to have a two-piece system. They've got their athletic boxer compression short system. They've dialed that in. They found that piece that they like. Then it makes a lot of sense to just go with the unlined shorts. I think at the gym, even, like, a lot of people like to wear compression shorts or whatever. A lot of gym, even people playing sports, I would say that would make a lot of sense to choose the unlined shorts.
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I run them both a lot, but when I'm doing massive efforts, when I'm like trail running specifically, doing long efforts, trail running, I'm a crazy sweater. I sweat so much. I sweat gallons at a time, it seems like. And for me, I found that like a compression short helps me to avoid chafing when I'm sweating at that level and running, 20 miles or more. And so I'll typically use the unlined shorts for those kind of scenario, because I have my underwear dialed at this point. And so that's one application. That's about the only application, though, that I choose the unlined over the lined short. For me, the lined short offers a lot. One, the weight is almost indifferent, right? Do you know the weights off the top of your head?
It's an ounce difference.
Okay, so it's like 1 ounce difference to go with the lined versus the unlined. And as far as like the pack size, like if you're rolling these up, it's going to be negligible, right? So like there's kind of your size on these. So if you're packing these, let's say I was using them for travel instead of hiking just for a second, it's one less pair of boxers I have to bring because they're just built into the short here. When I'm backpacking, it's kind of the same. I don't have to be wearing boxers. I've got very much a performance pair of underwear inside of this with that mesh. And there's a lot more breathability in that mesh than almost any other boxer out there. And so it's very streamlined, for swimming, things like that. There's just all these different uses that we use these for. But specifically going into the trail side of things, I've had a tremendous amount of success with the lined shorts, avoiding chafing, staying very comfortable, and just having to bring less onto the trail. If you were someone who likes to switch shorts on trail, which is not something that I personally do, but it's just one less thing you have to pack in your backpack all the time. And with that in mind, I think that it is in some ways more preferable But in other ways, this piece, if like Brigham said, if you've got your underwear dialed or you just prefer that fit, or you're using them for a very specific application, it makes it a little bit more easy to go through. But I will say, before like getting into short design, I never wore anything lined. Like, it was not on my radar to wear a lined short. I had a few lined swim pieces or something like that, but even that, like, I didn't always love them. And so coming into this project, started to utilize a lot of running shorts that had liners, and realized that there were some advantages with those. Even though I didn't love the execution of those, they typically were bagging out on me and just kind of losing shape as I was running or hiking. So dialing that in and whatnot turned me to become a big believer and lover of the liner in the shorts.
Yeah. So let's say on a typical, let's say a 20-mile hiking day, we're hiking a trail. We need to do about 15 to 20 miles. And let's say there's no rain whatsoever, but there's definitely a lot of sweat. I sweat a lot. At the end of the day, once I stop moving and I start setting up my tent, heating up boiling water and making my dinner, by the time I've set up my tent, inflated my pad, thrown out my top quilt, and eaten dinner, the shorts are dry. The liner's totally dry. That's like best case scenario. And that's why that's like one of the best discoveries I had with the lined shorts. Second powerful discovery I had was really, now take that same scenario, but now it's raining all day. I take like a lightweight, like legging sleeping bottom, like to sleep in, some lightweight leggings and kind of a similar long sleeve shirt. So I'll get into the tent, and my shorts will be soaked. I will just take those off and change right into totally dry leggings. And then by the morning time, even in that humid environment of the tent, these shorts are, I would say, like 80% dry, including the lining. So next morning, that was like a very good discovery of mine, was how utilitarian it is to just have one pair of shorts that I can wear for the duration of a multi-day backpacking trip, and just not even worry about things drying out, not worry about changing into, that same wet pair of shorts that I took off the night before, and then a pair of underwear that definitely didn't dry out because, it's just not that breathable and lightweight of a fabric. So that was, for me, a very significant kind of discovery as we were working on these shorts.
Yeah. So question, are the drawstrings stretch or static?
They're static.
Yeah, so the drawstrings on this, obviously this part here is stretchable. The fabric itself has stretch in it as well. You can kind of see that. But the lines here are going to be static lines. They're not going to have stretch in them. Good question. What do we miss on shorts? I think, to me, if I'm just kind of spouting off here, I think that right now you can get these shorts on sale, right? Which makes them even more affordable. If you're a Live Ultralight member, you can stack the $5 off on the first pair, the second $10 off on the second pair, and then you still get that. We might be missing you guys. But essentially, you're able to get a better deal right now, especially if you're a Live Ultralight member. So it makes them even more affordable to me. They're just a staple. It's a piece I wear every day. Me and Brigham have been testing these for well over a year, probably closer to 2 years now, and I've never had a single pair wear out on me. I haven't worn through any at all. I have zero signs of wear on any of them. I've never put a hole in them. They've just been incredibly solid. So investing in something like these shorts will pay dividends for a long time. And that's with, like I mentioned, daily wear to the gym or running or hiking every single day in these shorts.
Yeah.
Yes, I have a few pair that I'm rotating through, obviously, but just a phenomenal, long-lasting short that is just well worth the money, especially if you're executing buying this week, you're saving a few more pennies on it. So
Yeah, I was telling Joe, I've used every iteration of prototypes that we've had, but there's one once we got once the fit was dialed in, I bet that pair of shorts has over 1,000 miles of use, like easily, because I use them for every single trip to the gym, every run, every backpacking trip, including like the Highline. I mean, just yeah. So a lot of miles and hardly anything to show for it on the shorts.
yeah, that's awesome. All right, Leon is asking Sawtooth Adventure shorts versus Highline or Skyline Trail shorts. So differences between those. Obviously, there's big differences, even though they're both shorts. So let's go through those.
Very different. So I would say, I mean, the Sawtooth shorts are Sawtooth pants with the legs cut off. They're a heavier fabric, less breathable fabric. They're still breathable, they're just less breathable. These are shorter inseam. They're going to hit clearly above the knee. Probably going to feel more free or less. You're going to have more mobility, more freedom of movement, better airflow. They weigh less. And I would say probably more comfortable. They're just, that's what they're designed to do. That's what the use case creates when you build a pair of shorts around the use case that we described.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think for the most part, you guys can look at these two products on our website and see like the obvious differences, right? Like the pocketing and just some of the feature sets. As far as like in the field usability, what you're going to find is that this is a lighter weight material and it's going to dry faster. The gusset, or excuse me, like the mesh and things like that are going to allow it to have more stretch in it. It's cut different to have more range of motion. So it's really just more about the range of motion of the piece, kind of the expectation that this piece is going to be doing more mileage, handle moisture just a little bit better.
Yeah. Another way of looking at it, these are a much more high exertion pair of shorts versus the Sawtooth shorts. You could think of these as an athletic short, and the Sawtooth shorts as more of a leisurely. They're a pair of pants turned into shorts, kind of like a pair of jean shorts. I would say think of them more that way in terms of classifying them. These the Sawtooth shorts are more utilitarian in terms of pocketing. You know, they've got a side cargo pocket, two back pockets, and then the two hand pockets. These are just, there's no pockets on the back of these. There's the two hand pockets on the hip area.
One way that might be beneficial to look at it too is, let's say I was going to go backpacking tomorrow. It's summertime, but not like middle of the hottest summertime, right? If I was going to hike 5 miles or less, I would bring the Sawtooth pants. If I was going to hike maybe 5 to 10 miles, I might bring the Sawtooth shorts just because I'm not doing massive amount of mileage and maybe I want the pockets or something like that. But if I'm doing like over 10 miles a day backpacking, you're going to get a lot more benefit out of something like this. And those are reference points. Those like don't read into those too much, but I'm just kind of explaining like the higher exertion you go, the more moving from pants to shorts, and then from just shorts to performance shorts or athletic shorts becomes more viable, more important, and just more comfortable, right? Because that's what it's all about, is staying comfortable on the trail. Hopefully that's a decent reference. Okay, here's some other snag durability.
Snag durability? Well, like I said, I've got a pair of shorts with 1,000+ miles on them. There's no rips or tears or snags. That all those miles include crawling over logs, sitting on top of a log to get my body over it, sitting on dirt, sitting on rocks, sitting on sandstone, hiking through the desert. There's yucca and cacti and all kinds of thorny other things out there. Doesn't mean they're indestructible, but we wanted to specifically have a pair of shorts that we could go running in, go hiking in the backcountry with the conditions that entails, and not worry about the durability. So
and swing into a restaurant when you get off trail and have a meal without feeling like you're running around in 3-inch running shorts.
like you don't want to hike your shorts up too
Yeah,
high,
you don't have to
otherwise
change your clothes
something
before you
else-
go in
yeah.
public. Or
Yeah.
yeah, snag durability. I've never put a hole in my shorts in any of the miles. I don't think Brigham has either. It's not to say it can't be done. I mean, we don't have 1,000 miles of derrick, on trail with them, but I think that the durability level is quite high, and you're going to have a lot of longevity in these shorts. I'm not totally sure question here, but OV boxers versus Skyline. There's a lot of differences between those.
One's a pair of underwear, one is a pair of outerwear.
I think what is interesting with that though is that I want to say the boxers are like the same weight as these shorts, even the line shorts.
Yeah.
So that's how much lighter this polyester material is and the mesh we're using compared to the wool material we use there. So I think that's something notable and worth calling out. Obviously the fit's different, pocket's different, everything else is going to be quite different. So backcountry exposure giving us a wave. How's it going, Devin? Okay, I think we've gone through most of these questions. If you have any more, quickly drop them into the chat. But overall, just a phenomenal short. I jokingly said that they come with the plus 2 mile guarantee, that when you wear these things, you're going to hike an extra 2 miles with no extra perceived exertion. But it's not true. We don't actually claim that. But I think that's how you might feel on trail. It's very freeing, especially if you're someone who's only ever hiked in like pants or bigger, more restrictive shorts. You're going to feel very free on the trail. They're going to keep you very comfortable. Hopefully they will do exactly what we've designed them to do, which is going to be reduced chafing for you and your body on trail, big mile days, back-to-back days. Overall, just a phenomenal short. They have a ton of use cases, ton of usability. Like I say, I'm taking them anytime I'm traveling, taking them to the gym and running and hiking every single day. And then obviously when we're going out on fast packing trips, hiking trips, backpacking trips, they're what I'm wearing almost all of the time now. For me personally, I might be a little bit different than Brigham. Currently, I'm wearing these most of the year and really only going back to pants when the weather really calls for it. So with that in mind, you guys do have, I believe, until Monday to take action and save some money on these shorts while we're doing the launch pricing. Again, you can save $5 off the shorts right now. You'll save $10 off of a second pair if you buy 2 pairs at once. And as always, if you're a Live Ultralight member, you're going to save 10% on top of these prices. So go take action on that. Save yourself some money. Pick up 2 pairs. I think you'll be more than happy with those. And can't wait to see where you guys take these shorts. I think we're going to get some pretty awesome photos of these all over the world, and just always excited to see where you guys take the shorts and hear back from you on how they've been performing. So any last words, Brigham?
Take them swimming.
Take them swimming.
They're great swim trunks.
Do some river fording and crossing along the way. So, okay, thanks guys. We'll go ahead and call it here. Thanks for joining us today. Go grab your Skyline shorts. Let us know if you have any other questions. And also look for that video that'll be coming out where I break down kind of the differences between shorts and pants for hiking on the trail.